Start of the third week, squatting every day. Went well. Felt a little bit of discomfort in my low back um, later in the workout during some good mornings, so I called those early, did 2 sets instead of 3. But other than that, everything went swimmingly. Today, the previous 2 weeks, the first day was high bar back squats with a 3-second pause in the bottom to continue to vary the type of squat we're doing. This is a high bar back squat with a 1-second pause at the bottom. I have inconsistent mental timekeeping abilities. Let's take a look here. So that feels like a pretty good pause, but I feel like sometimes during my 3-second pauses, it would be roughly that length of pause. So anyway, with the 1-second pause here, I managed, I think 290 is what I worked up to, and that felt pretty good. So that was nice. The previous, kind of just being honest with myself and saying that my 1-second pauses and my 3-second pauses are sometimes not too different from each other. That is that even a pause? If I were to pause for maybe a third of a second longer, I would feel like that's more of a pause, or that's a closer to a 1-second pause. But it definitely didn't. I don't feel like I bounced out of the hole. So here's. Oh, what was I saying? I was jumping all over. My 1-second pause and my 3-second pause are very similar sometimes. So this isn't a direct comparison to the previous week where I had 3 seconds, but I did 275 with the 3-second pause. And so this is 290 here. I get stuck and have to grind my way up, but I manage it. Feels good. I feel like the form was good. And then we move on. So after this, we're lowering the weight 20%, and I'm going to do 3 sets. Maybe I only did 2 sets. Yeah, 2 sets of 3 with no pause at this weight. This first set, I remember feeling a little sketchy, and then the second set was much stronger. I'm not sure what exactly the issue was. But yeah, so I continue to improve, continue to get stronger every day. It feels very insane that I can make this much progress this quickly. And more than that, this type of workout is just, I feel like just much more suited to my body. I'm having very few aches and pains, whereas when I'm doing a typical 3-day split or 5-day cycle with three different split up days, I'm consistently scheduling in deloads. The first day I'll do 100%, second day I'll often do 80% volume, and then not the second day, but the first time I do a workout would be a full volume workout, and then I'll do 80% the next time I do that same session, and then the third time around I'll do 60% and then work back up to 100 the next time. Whereas this, the way it's structured with just sort of low volume, high intensity, I just don't feel like I need to do that to keep my joints feeling good. So this has been really, really, really fun to try something like this, and it's really changed a lot about how I think about programming and things that I may do for clients in the future, and different ways that I will train myself going forward during periods where I'm not actively hiring a coach for myself, which I do pretty frequently. The other thing I got going, super pleased with this. Worked up to a 1-rep max with the bench press. And as I've mentioned numerous times before, I've got some nerve damage on my right side. My right pec, right tricep, and right lat were all basically paralyzed for almost 2 years, a couple of years ago, or maybe 5 years ago now. And so I've had to slowly build that back up. And so I just did 230, a set of two. I did a single at 225 and a single at 230 there, then dropped it 20% and did sets of 3. But I've not been able to lift 225. Once upon a time, I could do reps with 225. Now this is a new, 1 rep max for me at 230, and even 225 I hadn't hit since I hurt myself. I'm very, very pleased. I'm not even focusing so much on building up the bench, but or at least that's not the primary focus. But that is a thing that I'm thinking about as I'm doing these sets, and I'm over the moon to see how that's coming along for me. And these sets of 3 with 185, I believe, they went well, especially after all the heavier singles that I did. I've just been benching so light. And this, heavy is relative, but for what, the vision that I still see in my head of what I would be able to press, it's all very light, and to be able to put 2 plates on there again just feels great. I'm so excited about that. Anyway, until next time.